Greetings and welcome to another Diablo 2 Resurrected video. Today I want to show you the Ice Bowazon, Frozen Bowazon. Call it what you like. Let's dive right into the skills. We have 20 into Cold Arrow, 20 into Ice Arrow, which are synergies for our Freezing Arrow, where we put 20 points into it. 1 to Magic Arrow, just to have a little bit of magic damage if we need it. Then 20 into Valkyrie to tank and block for us, and the rest of our points into Decoy to serve as further tank, for example at Travincal. As for the gear, we have a Wizendraw Crusader bow, so it's upgraded twice. It has minus 35% to enemy cold resistance, which is pretty nice for this build, and this is like more a budget, mid-range oriented version. I will show you later on also more high-end gear for this build. A Wisdom in a helmet, which has nice piercing attack, bonus attack rating, cannot be frozen. But the attack rating is not as important because the Freezing Arrow does not rely on that attack rating. It's kind of like a spell. Also an amulet that has +1 to skills, +10 all rest, treachery for the nice increased attack speed, Aldo's boots, Manaut for the mana leech, Razor Tail for the piercing attack, Raven Frost, and laying on hands. As for jumps, just great jumps with resistances, which we still need. These are just three 2020s. You don't really need them, but of course they are nice. But we can also just throw them because our damage is about elemental damage. Then I have 3 520s here just to boost up a little bit of resistances. Okay, of course you can use other small charms with just +10 to fire, +10 to lightning or something like that. Annie and Torch, which should be considerably cheap. I mean, not perfect ones, but like Ammas and Torch are not that sought after, as well as Annies are everywhere, I guess. And yeah, 1 bow and crossbow skiller. 2 bow and crossbow skillers, just to boost up our damage a little bit. You also see the stats, which are pretty minimal for the strength requirement on this gear. The dex is also very low. We don't need the attack rating, as I said. We only need like the freezing arrow, and the rest into vitality, which amounts to pretty much a lot of life. And then I opted for an Act 5 mercenary with double Lawbringers, just to help a little bit with surviving, because the Decrepify is really nice. Then I gave him a treachery and a crown of thieves, and that's about it. So let's start here in the House of Dead level 2, because we still need the cube to see how we are in the cow level. So here, for example, there's an immune to cold, which is of course annoying. You can either skip them or let your mercenary take care of it, because mercenary does a good amount of damage. We can just use magic arrow on them. But it doesn't do much damage, because this is like a very budget bow option. But for the rest, like if they're not cold immune, it works very well, right? And after that I will show you a little bit of higher end gear, which is pretty nice and does a lot of damage in my opinion. Whoops. But of course you are mostly constrained to one element, which is the freezing element, and there's no way to break immunities. So that is why also with high-end gear or options you also want to give your mercenary, for example, 2 head strikers, a nice fortitude, an Ariad's face, just to give him a lot of physical damage, which is very helpful. He does do a lot of damage with good gear. So where's the level 3 here? One thing that you need to keep in mind, you're not that great at leeching mana, although we have the Manaut here with like 7%. I think overall it's 12% mana per hit stolen, but our physical damage, which is the portion of damage that is responsible for the leech, isn't that high, right? Considering also resistances and stuff. But it's okay, and you can also chuck like 1 or 2 mana potions from time to time. So now we have the cube. We need that for later, for opening the cow level. And yeah, let's show you a little bit of Travincal. There's like 1 cold immune, the 1 super unique, but again, you mostly should take care of that unless they have like conviction aura, then it's a little bit bad. Also use your decoy here. Yeah, here's the cold immune. But like for the rest of them, as you can see, especially if they stack up like this, it's not that bad. So use decoy to block the Hydra damage. Where's my mercenary? Oh, he's in there, right? There he is. So, I don't know if the mercenary killed the cold immune or my Valkyrie, but the bug was pretty nice. This is mostly budget gear with some more expensive options, but you can tweak it as you like. And I think it works pretty well. I was generally surprised. Also, of course, there are other areas which you can consider, like the arachnid layer, because there are no cold immunes. But I personally would recommend to farm Travincal for runes and magic items, of course. Just like this, nice and easy. You can go ancient tunnels. Another thing that's a bit bothersome, of course, with the Amazon is you don't have teleport, so you have to search for the entry of the ancient tunnels, for example, or stony tombs. That's why it's better to do just Travincal or maybe arachnid layer, because it's right at the waypoint, right? That is if you don't play single player where you have static maps. Coldman challenge. She had a lot of cold resistance. Okay, so let's switch to better gear options. I need to respec for that because I need more strength and more dexterity. About that, we also then have a call to arms and spirit in your offhand. And we get the Chains of Honor here. Nightwing's Wail with a cold facet in it boosts our cold damage by a lot. You can just take a quick look for switching. Yeah, we need to do this. You don't really need the decoy then, but let's just take the same skills. And look at the freezing damage, it's like 1.7k. If we take the Nightwings, it goes up by 600, which is a lot. Furthermore, if we take Ice, which needs a jar rune, so it's pretty expensive, and a low rune, but it has plus 30% to cold skill damage. Just look at our damage. Boom. It goes up by almost 1k. With the aura, it's more than 1k. Also, we can use where is it? A Maras. Plus 2 to skills is nice. We can use a Stone of Jordan for more plus skills. You can keep the Raven Frost for now. It has cannot be frozen on it. For boots, we can also use Silk Weaves. Whoops. And yeah, that's about it. That's a nice little setup. Let's take those resistance charms in there. Can take more. Do we have more skillers? Doesn't seem so. Well, potentially you can use more crossbow and bow skillers, of course. And for your mercenary, you can give. What? Why can't you use that? Oh, give him the head striker so he has enough strength for the sacred armor fortitude.
I'll put that to good use.
And Ariats.
I'll put that to good use.
So now he has 2 upgraded ethereal head strikers with shade runes. I don't know if shade runes are the best. I just put them in there for now. a Fortitude, and an arrow its face with a gem rune for cannot be frozen, so does a lot of damage. And I think that's about it, right? Let's quickly reset Travincal. And let's see the difference. Of course, there are still like cold immunes, right? But since now our mercenary does a lot of damage as well, shouldn't be a problem. Less so than before. Vitality. And also we have CTA now, which is nice. Arrow. No, Conviction Aura, it's always on the cold immune, it's so bad. Whoops, I was on the wrong skill. But that's the worst setup as for Travincal, because if there is a Conviction Aura, it's always Torque, which is cold immune. But as you can see, you can still pretty much manage. I have an easy time here. Some charms. Let's take a look at the cow level.
I can't.
Whoop. Already starts here. The only real issue is mana leech, right? I have a little bit. I have like these silk weaves that give me mana after kill, which is nice. And I know it's not the fastest build in the world, but that's not the point. We're not here to determine Ice Bowazon as the fastest build of Diablo 2. It's just seeing how good it can be if you can have some fun, if you can have like some farming. And honestly, you do. It's not bad at all. It's no Hamadin, of course, and it's no like fully decked out lightning sorceress. But it does pretty decent damage. It's also very safe. Let's get like a big group. It's not that big, but here we go. Because the bigger the group, the more effective it becomes, because you have this AoE damage. Where are all the cows? They're hiding. Come on! It's only small groups. Oh boy, what a cow level. Of course, because of the Valkyrie, they kinda are hard to hurt and to be grouped together. That's alright. Maybe we wouldn't even need the Valkyrie and or the Mercenary in the cow level. It's just nice for Travincal. So we still have some wiggle room. Some people like to go strafe together with the freezing arrow, just to have a better physical option. And if your gear is good enough, you can let go of the Valkyrie, for example, save a lot of points, and put it into strafe, for example, or maybe even into fire damage, if you like. Have like a dual element spec. There's a bit of room of flexibility, for flexibility. But yeah, that's about it. Just a little showcase of the Ice Frost Amazon Bowazon, of what she can do. And of course there is again room for improvement. You can put in more skillers, for example, more attack rating charms, or like damage charms if you want to boost up your physical portion of the damage. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And I see you in the next video. Good luck, have fun, and goodbye.